What's going on, guys? It's Johnny Wolf, and before the video starts, I'd like to make a quick announcement. I am now officially sponsored by epicallyshop.com. If you don't know what epicallyshop.com is, basically it's like the greatest online store for anime merch to ever exist. Especially for the next few days, because for right now, 45% off of all worldwide shipping. And if you want even more savings, you can use my discount code JWOLF for an additional 5% off. I definitely took advantage of this deal, and if I were you, I would too while I still have time. So feel free to click the link in the description. And with that all said, back to the video. So I wanted to sit down and talk about the upcoming Jujutsu Kaisen movie. I think the official title is Jujutsu Kaisen 0, but I don't know if they added Blinding Darkness to it. And the reason they should was because that's the title of the manga volume that it was based off of. Yes, there is a volume of the manga called Jujutsu Kaisen 0. And as the title suggests, it's basically a prequel to the entire Jujutsu Kaisen series. You know, before Itadori, before Fushiguro, before Kugisaki, you know, basically before those guys' time at Jujutsu High. We have a new protagonist, or more so the protagonist before the main protagonist. His name is Yuta Okotsu, and after reading the manga, I am just so hyped for the movie adaptation, because this dude's story is just absolutely messed up. Basically, he had an accident. Well, actually, no, he was involved with a terrible accident in his childhood that involved his childhood friend. You know, she died, and because of all the negative emotions that build up cursed energy, it led to her becoming a cursed spirit and therefore following him around for the rest of his life. So yeah, Yuta is being followed by the cursed spirit ghost of his childhood friend, Rika. And you know, naturally, bad shit just follows him everywhere he goes, because Rika feels very protective of him and therefore just pretty much kills anybody who gets too close to him. So yeah, Rika's a damn simp. Jokes. But eventually he gets discovered by the higher-ups at Jujutsu High, and then Satoru seeks him out, brings him in, and you know, he starts training, mastering curse energy, fighting cursed spirits. And what really intrigues me is that we get to see Maki, Inumaki, and Panda in their times as first years at Jujutsu High. I mean, all while welcoming their new classmate. This is actually a key part in their development as students and Jujutsu sorcerers. And the biggest part of the story of Jujutsu Kaisen 0 is the antagonist, Suguru Geto. And if you don't know who he is, he's basically the one curse user who has the stitch work across his forehead, who was working with all the cursed spirits, you know, Mahito, Jogo, and what's that person with the tree eyes? Hanami. But yeah, Suguru Geto, he is actually a very interesting antagonist, even more so than Sukuna, if you ask me. And if you've read the rest of the manga, but you haven't read Jujutsu Kaisen 0, I highly recommend reading Jujutsu Kaisen 0, especially if you drop the manga right at where the anime left off, because the pacing actually feels so much better that way. And I'm talking from experience, because the pacing feels so much better that way, and I am talking from experience, so trust me. Because here's the best way to explain it. In Jujutsu Kaisen 0, basically we have Suguru Geto, you know, him and his lackeys, all the cursed spirits, and you know, he's chatting everybody up. He's discussing his motives for why he does what he does, and why he teams up with all the cursed spirits. But then after Jujutsu Kaisen 0 comes the hidden inventory arc within the rest of the manga, which essentially is just, you know, the flashback arc to the times of Suguru Geto, Gojo Satoru, Tsukimoto, who is the girl on the motorcycle who was basically the influence for Todo Aoi. You know, it's about all those times that they were students at Jujutsu High. I mean, these are all actually incredible arcs, and if you haven't read up on the manga, I highly recommend doing so, but if you don't want to see any spoilers, then that's understandable. But the best reason to read the manga would be to get the better grasp of the source material, because the anime does not always adapt everything accurately. I mean, as we have seen in previous animes, and that's all the more reason I chose to read Jujutsu Kaisen 0, because it is a movie. And I don't know if there's ever been an anime movie that's been 3 hours long. You know what? I take that lie back. But in truth, I don't really know how long the movie's gonna be, but to read the entire volume of the manga took me the course of 2 hours, and I gotta be honest, I'm a slow-ass reader. So it's easy to say that they could easily adapt it into a 2-hour movie, or maybe just a little bit over 2 hours. You gotta take into account the dialogue, the pacing of the words, as well as the action scenes. And if MAPPA has proven anything, is that they know how to create a good-ass action scene. As for the official release date of the movie, I've read that it premieres in Japan in the winter of 2022. So as far as showing up in theaters here in the West, probably not until the summer of 2022 at the soonest. And if we're lucky, spring 2022. But yeah, I really wanted to discuss Jujutsu Kaisen 0 with, avoiding as much spoilers as possible. And I think I did just that. If anything, I hope you're more enticed to see the movie or read the manga. Either way, you're gonna know how the story goes. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed, be sure to drop a like. Don't forget to click that link in the description to check out epicallyshop.com. And I will see you guys later.